All right, everybody. Good morning. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. Today, the original tarot deck wanted to come out. So, if you're a beginning tarot reader, if you're just getting into it, this is a deck that I recommend. It breaks everything down for you guys. Gives you all your zodiac signs, meaning of the upright, meaning in the downright, in the reverse. Gives you a breakdown on the side. Yes and no. Earth, air, water has all your elements. Just a quick little note. Hope you guys are all having a blessed week and a great day. It is Friday. Pushing into the lovely end of the week. Spirits and ancestors, thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and give a lovely reading for everybody here. So just so you guys know, this is my first deck. This is the first deck that I originally started with. So it's another one of those, well, you guys know I'm just a talker, so it's not like one of my decks are talkers, but it's another one of those hard truth decks. Way too much, and I saw the page inside of here. Yeah, Page of Pentacles right there. So we're transitioning collective, and we're some people are having a little bit of trouble committing maybe to whatever their new endeavors are, or whatever they're trying to transition into. Some odd reason you guys are deciding you want to fight it a little bit. Yeah, rather than move with ambition and just take action in the situation and know what you need to do. The sun just tried coming out. Ooh. Yeah, you need to accept the fact it's time to move on, guys. I bet you there's been battle tested. You want, it's not like you don't have a lack of long-term version, but maybe where you're working at doesn't see the worth inside of you or wherever you are right now. Yeah, they just don't see that. They don't see that worth. Kind of like this deck. It's kind of the deck that brings me back into the past of different things, right? Yeah, because then you get anchored by the Three of Wands. So you're preparing and it's in progress. So here's what I'm getting, you guys. So right now, right inside the collective, we're going through a transition, right? We're moving from rough waters into calmer waters. But inside of this movement of what's going on, so inside of this movement and what's going on, though, you're kind of maybe feeling like there's a lack of commitment coming from certain sides or certain parties inside of your life, or maybe from your job or from there's certain lack of commitment. There's somebody's not quite adding up anymore, right? It's not quite making sense. Maybe it's time to become a little bit more ambitious and go seek something else that's out there, and understand that maybe inside of this moving on, this moving on may not be something that you were planning on doing, you know what I mean? But if you do move on, understand that it's not because you have the lack of the long-term goal. Maybe it's because the place you're at or what you're doing right now doesn't have the vision that you need to see. You don't see the fruits of your seeds. You don't see what you're doing actually benefiting you anymore. Right? What you're doing is not benefiting your harvest. You're sowing your seeds on swine. You're casting your pearls at swine. Right? You're putting your seeds in unfertile ground. So it's kind of telling us that we need to have the courage to move on, because we're battled down, we're battle tested. We've been through this before. We know what we need to do. We know where we have to go. We know what we need to do. We just need to not be scared to make that transition and leave that familiarity. Leave that area of comfort. Get uncomfortable. Like the book says, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's kind of what it's about right now, because as you see, as you're preparing and this progress is coming into play for you, you're going to come in to notice that it's actually going to start benefiting you. You're going to start seeing your cup get poured into more, right? You're going to start enjoying things a little bit more. It might feel a little bit like you're going to be getting held back. And some people may even try and hang you up on this, because they're not going to see the reasoning and why you want to go and do this. They don't see the true self-worth that you have inside of yourself. They're trying to keep you manipulated inside a situation so that way you don't really see that balance ever coming. You never get to go get that public display because you're going to be too busy, too pinned down with all their bothers and all their worries, when they're really not worried about you. They don't really care. They're not worried about the burdens that they're going to have to carry. They're not worried about your burdens or what you're going to carry. They just care about what's going on around them and the conflict that they have to keep at peace. They don't care about the inner child and the people actually wanting to get out and go and do stuff, or the abundances that life can bring. So maybe it is time for them to face that little bit of disappointment as you go ahead and take off and adventure off, right? That's why you're getting the Knight of Wands, right? Because they're a little bit confused on everything that's going on. They're getting lost and staring just at the pentacles, right? That's all they're doing. They're lost. They're more worried about the greed level. They're worried about how much more they can make rather than what teamwork can be out there. Actually, the person that's sitting right there in front of them is the answer to getting everything solved for them, but they don't want to make that decision because they're not thinking with anything other than just their head. Confirmed. All they're worried about is their money. Not worried about who comes and who goes, or anybody else's money at that fact. They're being selfish. That's why they're the Queen of fucking Wands. It brings them bad luck. They're stuck inside of a cycle, and they think that they're bringing happiness, but the world knows the truth. And it's shifting fast inside of the belief. Other people are starting to get the truth and understand. They're starting to see what's going on out there. They're tired of being manipulated by everything. They're wondering why they're sitting there for so long acting like they're winning everything when they're probably really not. They're actually just being stuck inside of a lack mindset, and rather than moving forward and wanting to face the justice of what they need to do, they'd rather sit there and be ignored by somebody that's feeding the other person on this side and not giving a damn about the person on this side. I think that's a good enough mic drop on you guys right there. So basically what it's saying is know your worth. Know your worth. If you're this person here wondering why you're not getting fed and they keep feeding everybody else that comes in there, know your worth. Go make them answer up for the reasons why they want to keep you in lack. Because pretty soon this emperor is going to get fucking pissed. He's going to get tired of being manipulated. He's going to hop in his car and go the other fucking direction. And guess what? Then the shit's really going to happen fast. Your world is going to collapse. It's not going to be happy and harmonious. You are going to face that devil. And your wheel of fortune is going to go the opposite direction because you guys are nothing but a bunch of greedy little bitches. And all your shit's gonna fucking fall apart because you're making everybody leave because all you care about is your fucking money. Good luck with that in life. I'm telling you what. Pretty soon you're gonna end up with you're gonna face a true fucking meaning of what this card really stands for right there. Because pretty soon the divine's going to get pissed. And they're going to lay you down. And they're going to make you understand that the heartbreak that you've been causing, being a false hierophant, stealing things from people and leaving things in the past, not being able to stand 10 toes down on things, not being honest with people, leaving other people up in anguish, oh, they're going to come and get you. You just wait for that time to come, because these illusions you're painting are going to fall apart. All that work you've been doing, it's going to be toast. That vision is gone. They're wondering what the hell is going on, and they're not being blind to it no more. All right. Have a good day, guys. I gotta wipe away all this. Woo, that's just wow. Hopefully this all resonates with you guys. Hopefully it didn't go too long. Have a great day.